No, you can't do that to people. That's fucking meanie. Ah.
You know how to change all this? Because I don't.
Alright, it looks like it's Jagz versus Crizor. This should be an interesting match, actually, because this is a decent matchup for Charizard. I believe it's like 55 his favor. So we'll see what happens. Jagz says he's personally practiced this matchup, but it still gives him trouble.
Yeah.
So let's switch over here. Alright, Jack's already off with a quick combo. That's one of the things is once Marth gets you in the air, it's really hard to get out, especially because Charizard's best option in that situation is like a Nair. And his Nair starts behind him, so for him to get under, it's like 20 frames. So that's his best option when being juggled, because his down air does not have any disjoint, and it lacks any range at all because of his stubby legs. Another thing is Charizard has like one of the worst tech rolls in the game, so whenever Marth gets you in a throw, Marth can really easily follow up on pretty much any option that you could do as Charizard. Yeah. Your best option is to mix up your tech in place and no tech and just hope that he doesn't really read it too hard. Otherwise, you're going to be getting grabbed a lot and it's not going to feel well. Conversely, though, Charizard actually does have a pretty decent chain grab on Marth till about 60% with back throw. So we'll see if Crizor knows about that.
Oh. Forward air into this forward smash. Neutral air. Ooh.
Alright, let's just get these little player
Jagz
icons
finally
up
losing
here.
the stock. Ooh, tipper.
Alright, looks like stock icons are all upgraded. Alright, so it looks like Jagz is ahead here one stock. Honestly, PS2 is a really interesting change to choose, because Marth is like the last of the semi-floaty characters, so killing him off the top isn't that hard. So having a low ceiling is really going to help. At the same time, I really feel that the lack of platforms doesn't really do Charizard too many favors here, especially because Marth can really have a lot of room to just follow up on his grabs, like I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
And, I mean, stuff like that can happen where, I mean, Tipper up smash can kill at around 100 and something on Charizard. It's not a normal option, but I could see Jagz going for it if he uses a mix-up, like into Dacus or something. So I don't really know about the stage pick. If Crizor loses this, I expect him to choose something along the lines of Battlefield or something with a lot of platforms to really abuse that. Maybe a small base stage just to kind of get Marth so we can't space him out so hard. Yeah, see, Jagz read the he read the tech in place. It was not a good option. He got punished with the dare. Alright, he does ledge jump fair.
That's a fair?
That is fair, and that is actually one of the stronger fairs in the game. It's a lot like Mewtwo's, actually. A little faster, a little less skill power, I believe. That was not the correct input, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think he did that on purpose. I hope he didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I was playing against Fluid, and he was doing the same thing by accident. He like taunted like 3 times in a friendly by accident, he says. I don't know.
I don't know how you do that by accident, really.
Flub input. Yeah, Jagz takes that. Tipper forward smash at ledge. Honestly, Charizard's ledge options, he has some good ones, but he really has to mix them up. Because they're all decent by themselves, so if you just like cycle between them a little, it should be a little harder to read, and you shouldn't get punished that hard. Okay. He bans Dreamland Delfinos. He really doesn't want a large stage because Charizard can get back from anywhere, and he picks Battlefield for the counter pick. Alright. Yeah, Charizard really likes the Triplat, and he really likes the Blast Zones of Battlefield. It's actually one of his best stages.
Yeah.
In addition, he can also abuse the down tilt for the sweet spot, because Battlefield sweet spot is a little, it's a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah.
But it's still not as good as it is on some other stages, because the angle of the edge is there. So down tilt can kind of scoop Marth if he's coming from directly under ledge.
Okay.
He has to get like that perfect sweet spot. Another problem Charizard actually has in this matchup, though, is his out of shield options. His best options are like Nair out of shield, because it does start behind him, so if you cross up his shield, he'll Nair out of shield, and that's actually like a frame 7 or so, so it's pretty decent. It can like tie out with grabs, and it's got a lot of range too, so you can actually space it out to think they're safe on shield pressure. Like Marth, he has a lot of safe on shield pressure because of his sword, but Charizard can actually kind of range that out. The problem is, if you're in front of him, his best option is grab, which is decent because Charizard has a large grab, and it does come out at like, I believe, frame 7, like most other grabs in the game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, those are really his only options. So if you know his options, you know what he's going to do. The only thing he can do to mix it up is he can do, like, back air out of shield, and that's okay. It's a good mix-up for Nair, but it doesn't really give him a lot of options to work with. Yeah. All right, and he steals ledge. Charizard's ledge roll is actually being one of the longest ones in the game. So he really has he doesn't have to time it so hard when he goes for ledge roll option. He's still getting juggled pretty hard though. If that was PS2, that would have killed, even just if he'd done it at the base of the stage. That's why Battlefield is such a better stage, because it has a much higher blast zone. Charizard can chase you to the top either way, so it doesn't really matter how high it is. The lowness of the blast zone is honestly a severe threat for Charizard because he is a floaty character, so he will die off the top despite his weight.
Okay.
What he should be looking for here is he's probably going to look for a grab. He's probably going to look to get back to stage, actually, in this situation. He goes for the glide mix-up. The problem is when you do that, glide puts you in a good 30 frames or so of end lag, so it's really hard to get that up B out of it, especially because if they see you going for it, they'll just grab ledge, and Charizard's up B can't really sweet spot ledge, weirdly enough. So it's really one of the easier recoveries to edgeguard as long as you know how it works. Charizard actually is going to have a hard time getting killed like that. See what I said earlier about Charizard's up B doesn't sweet spot? It actually sweet spots at the end of the move after he's done. There's like a sweet spot above him. So it was a really weird sweet spot there because it's in front and behind him. So he can actually do those really weird like low reverse sweet spots. So it's like I said, if you know how it works, you can easily edgeguard it. If you don't, you'll get on stage for free like he just did against Jagz right there. Charizard usually won't die to down air though up before like 100% because he'll just be able to meteor cancel it with one of his 3 jumps. It's honestly not that bad. You have to deplete his jumps first, and that's a little bit difficult because, I mean, he does have a glide. While it does get rid of all of his jumps, it still gets him a pretty good distance towards stage, and his up B does cover a lot of height, if nothing else. All right, takes it with that back air. He's going to have to play very carefully, probably like camp him out on the platforms, abusing platform height and just kind of jumping around out of his range with nair and down air, just using that to approach. And going in for safe grabs, which is kind of difficult against Marth, which means he's going to have to make Marth respect his space a lot more than he is right now,